Hello wig wearers, I haven't done a video in such a long time and it's time I got back to it. I did take a break just because I changed jobs and I got a lot going on and I just haven't had time, and I go through phases where I don't lose necessarily the love of the hobby, but I go through a phase where I need change, and I spent a lot of time selling wigs and getting rid of wigs rather than buying wigs because I got so many that I wasn't using. I bought on the spur of the moment or bought on to try or for costumes that I never got around to doing. So I've had a massive clear out. I do have some more that I'm going to show you, but this video is focusing on wig caps. I want to bring back the attention to that because there's so many new ones available now and different types of ways to secure a wig, and so that's what we're going to focus on today. So I'm going to start with what I do with my hair. If you have hair to put out of the way, I know not everyone does, and so feel free to skip this bit if it's of no interest, but at the moment my hair is quite long and it grows quite fast. If I'm going to wear a wig, I tend to try and leave it for a day or so because it doesn't slip everywhere and it seems to hold better. So what I tend to do is I put it in a plait, two plaits, so one either side, but I put it in a plait to start with, and I like these grips to secure it because it just keeps it in place really well, and that just pins it there. It doesn't have to be tight because you're just keeping it out of the way. I try and get the bits in, sometimes they come down. You can always secure those with extra grips if you wanted to, but this I find the most effective way of getting it out of the way and keeping it flat. Some people will do one big plait, but because my hair is sort of mid-length, that doesn't really work for me. And I also plait it back away from my face because I want it to lie as close to my head as possible. If you plait it towards your face, then it will stick up and create a bump. Although I don't really have a fringe as such and I'm trying to grow it out, this bit here does hang down because it's longer layers and not a full fringe, and so I just pin that back and then that keeps it out of the way. And now I'm going to show you the options for the various different wig caps. So I'm going to start with your standard basic wig cap, which is the ones that look a bit like tights. These ones I find to be very restricting and quite tight, and they don't always stretch very well. This one isn't too bad, but a lot of them are too constrictive and they don't really give the space. And I find that when I wear these, I end up getting a headache, plus I get hot. So you just put them on like a sock. Stick it on your head like that, tuck the hair underneath, and then that will secure it out of the way. Obviously if you've got hair grips, make sure they go under it, not over it. But straight away as I put that on, that feels tight on my head and it's not comfortable. These come in a couple of colours. You can usually get them in a tan or a skin colour or black. The second type you get is this type here. It's very similar, but it's more like a fishnet, so you've got holes in it and there's a hole at the top and the bottom. That sort of helps your head aerate a little bit, and as a bonus you can always use it to create fish scales on your skin by putting eyeshadow on it, but that's another story for another time. Same sort of thing, you just pop it on like a sock. This one definitely feels less restrictive to me straight away, and so I'll be getting rid of all of that. But sometimes you have to be careful with this thick band at the front because it can show sometimes, so make sure that you do have it slightly higher than where the hairline would be, just so that it doesn't show under any lace wigs. It's definitely more comfortable, it's definitely more airy, and I find that these are more of my go-to if I want a darker one. I do have some in a slightly bigger size which I do prefer, but they're not in black, so I keep that for that purpose, and that's these ones. They're huge in size, so you can see already it's longer, stretchier, and these just happen to be brown. Don't even remember where I got them from, but I'm pretty sure you can buy them online. The largest part always goes at the top, and these ones go on like so. They are still a little bit restrictive, but not as bad. So far the little black one is the more comfortable one, but that tends to secure the wig better. The other inventions come from the wig world are these silicone bands. It looks very much like a headband, and it's got all these little nubbins on, the idea being that the wig sticks to it and it keeps it more secure. It's worn in pretty much the same way as you would a headband, but higher on the head so that it holds the hair in place, and the idea is that it keeps the hair out of the way if you have any. Doesn't matter if you've not. In fact, it's better if you don't have hair if you need something to secure a wig, because the wig will stick to the band. and so it doesn't matter if you don't have your own hair. And so if you do have hair loss or a lot of hair loss, I do think this is probably a better solution. And the wig sticks to that really well on those little raised bumps and does not move. You'd think that it'd be uncomfortable, but it is surprisingly comfortable to wear. It doesn't feel too restrictive. They do stretch a bit. It is going to be slightly more tight because it's designed to cling to the head, but I don't find it as bad as, say, the standard caps, and so I'd wear that over it any day of the week. But then they sort of progressed from that, and these I find even better. So now we have a band, but the band is adjustable and it has a little bit of lace in the middle. These are one of my favorites to wear because you can place it in the middle, and whether your wig does or doesn't have lace, it gives you a little bit of a lace front, and you can make it as tight around the back as you need to. And so it's designed for comfort. And I really like these. I think they're great because I'm in control of the pressure on my head, and for me that's ideal because I do suffer from headaches a lot if there's any sort of tightness around my head. It's why I don't wear my own hair back quite a lot, because it does restrict it and give me headaches. But I do find with these I can wear wigs up, or I can wear my own hair down quite low underneath. Doesn't put as much pressure on, and I'm in control. So they're the ones that I knew existed up until this point, and I just wanted to share those with you. And now I'm going to share with you the new two that I've found. This is possibly my new favourite invention, and I've got it in several colours. It's a full wig cap like the original design, but it has a full lace part that's built into it. It has the back so that you can adjust it, and it's got cut out for the ears. They are advertised on a lot of websites where they are horrendously expensive. However, you can get them on places like Temu very cheap, and I currently have about 4 or 5 of these, which I cycle through so that I can wash one, wear one, and I just wash them in soapy water. So when you put them on, initially you've got a lot of lace so that it makes the wig look more natural. I love the cutouts because they do go around your ears, so there's no restriction around the ear area, which can be uncomfortable in some cases, especially if you've got a wig with lace. And then the back, you can adjust to your own tightness. Now, I'd say that I've got a fairly large head, and so I don't like them too tight. And so that for me is a perfect solution. So I'll be chucking away most of my old ones, except I will keep the bands, and I'll also keep the larger ones and a couple of these ones just in case, because I don't want to take my nice ones and get them lost. However, these for me are the way forward. I absolutely love it. It's my favourite invention in terms of wig caps. I stumbled across it by complete accident. It came up as a free gift, weirdly enough, and once I bought one, that was it. I was hooked. As I say, I now have about 4 and more on the way. The only other thing I found, and I haven't actually tried these on yet, so we'll see, are these ones. I also got these off Temu. It says that one size fits all and they're easy to install. They are supposed to be very stretchy to allow for more comfort. Whether that's the case, I'll tell you in a minute. You can also use them for bold caps if you're into doing costume makeup and things like that. You put it on first, then the bold cap on top, so it gives you a more seamless finish, which I think is fantastic. They are very, very thin compared to the other fabric, and I'll do a comparison. You get them in packs of 2. I can tell straight away just feeling it how different it feels. So in comparison, the colour's slightly different, but I will put one on each hand so that you can see the difference. You can see how much thinner it is for a start, visibility wise. It's also got a thicker bottom for more security, and the fabric just feels a lot better. In terms of stretch, straight away I can see that this is a lot stretchier than this one. So I'm just going to try this one on now. Although I will probably wear the other ones as my wig caps, the main reason for getting these is because I do a lot of makeup, and that includes bowl caps, and so they'll be ideal for sticking under my bowl cap. You do find that they pull very tight to the head because they're designed to do that. However, I'm very excited to report that they're incredibly comfortable as well. I was expecting this to be very restrictive against my head, and I'd pretty much written it off before I tried it, if I'm honest. But that's not the case. They are very thin but also very durable, so they don't feel like they're going to snag or tear. but they fit really snugly on the head. And so I would say that that is another option. I wouldn't say they're quite as loose as the ones you can adjust, but if you wanted that added security and you're more afraid that somebody would find out you were wearing a wig, then this would be the one for you. Although this is still my preference and go-to every time now. So I just wanted to show those to you because it's so important that you get the options and you know what's out there, and I know that you don't often get that. So I hope that's helped. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Please like and subscribe and join me in another video soon.